Not all digital is equal. We need to stop using digital as a catch-all term for everything.
I'm going to introduce you to 4 phenomena which keep me awake as a practicing account planner. News brands alone aren't the answer. But I would say that if they're not part of your answer, you really need to ask yourself why.
My key take-up from Richard's section was the way it informed the presentations that followed and gave a frame and a context to them, which is if news brands aren't part of your answer as a media planner, building solutions for clients, then do ask yourself why.
Not all impressions are created equal. News brands deliver attention. More people are noticing them at all, and more people are noticing them for longer. On the non-news brand sites, of the people who did look, on average they only looked for about 1.5 seconds. Whereas for the news brands, they noticed it for far longer, almost 10 times longer, and over twice as many people actually remembered the ad afterwards.
So the phrase that really resonated with me this morning was attention velocity. So this is the notion that slower engagement with content produces deeper engagement with advertising.
You can see from this that the news brand audience is much more consistently emotionally engaged throughout the ad. The happiness, warmth and inspiration were all higher among news brands, but really the most interesting area for me was the cognitive response. So that's actually the more rational response to the video. Surprise and knowledge were around 2 times as high for the news brand audience. Emotional response is the most important, but when you have an emotional response combined with cognitive response, that often tends to lead to really good overall results when it comes to brand metrics.
I found the original session this morning on Lumen was very robust and relevant, had a deep dive in all the depth and analysis they presented. The viewability, the trust and the engagement piece makes news brands a very, very saleable story to my clients, which I'll take back to MediaCom.
If you put TV and news brands together, they offer a very complementary aspect to advertiser campaigns. So TV's reach will build the awareness, but the persuasiveness of news brand advertising will help to drive sales and build longer-term relationships.
These are people that are thinking about making a purchase, and the news brand is speaking to them at that critical time and helping to persuade them to make that purchase.
The future thinking session this morning really got me thinking about the persuasiveness of news brands and also the importance of capturing the effect of this in their research. And I'll certainly be having a think about the brands we work with to see if any of them would be suitable to contribute to that study.
We worked on what is the link between attention and sales. There's no point putting our advertising out there and nobody looks at it, because then they have no chance of then going on to make a decision or to change what their decision process is going to be. And what's the importance for news brand sites? The average uplift in attention from news brand sites was actually 30%, as opposed to all the other sites that were running within that period. There was an uplift on the actual click rate and the conversion rate on the back of that, which is for us the ultimate metric. As marketers, we're always getting challenged on the effectiveness of our spend, as we rightly should be. So having the ability to go back to the finance department and prove that we are optimizing our activity and that we're being more effective with that activity is really useful tool to have in those conversations.
I'm really excited that actually for the first time we are able to separate out digital news brands. We decided to take it a stage further, not just look at revenue ROI, but look at profit. Because at the end of the day, advertisers invest money to get a return. So what is the gap that we're missing by underinvesting in news brands? We end up with a missing profit gap of £3 billion. That's astonishing. And I think just by changing the media mix, we can deliver a greater profit return for advertisers.
We've had a long-held belief that there's a positive correlation between the quality of the environment in which our clients' ads are delivered and the effects on brand metrics. We've seen the market become increasingly concerned with audience delivery and less with environment. In short, I'd suggest we've got ourselves into a mess. We've now got to the stage where we accept that the terms brand safe and premium or quality are used interchangeably. They're not the same. We wouldn't pay for a poster that a contractor had only put up half of, or if a TV break consisted of 30 ads, all playing the first 2 seconds of a 30-second creative execution. It's the status quo that suits tech platforms and discriminates against premium environments where users have a greater engagement with content. But it's clear that the best brand tracking uplifts come from ads that are 100% in view for over 5 seconds, that are delivered above the fold on a page that is in view for 30 seconds or more. It's 24% more expensive to buy an ad on an exchange that is 100% in view for 5 seconds. This is a great starting point. We've shown in a robust way that what we all believe to be true can be proven. Logically, it makes sense to most people, I think, that the more engaged the consumer is, the more likely they are to be receiving a positive message from an ad. The problem that we've had is we haven't been able to prove that. So I think today's been great because it's the first time, I think, that we've been able to show in a robust fashion that what we thought was logical and made sense actually is.
There was a lot today which we kind of knew instinctively, but the Effectiveness Summit has really given us that ammunition to demonstrate to clients that premium inventory is worth paying more for that inventory and is actually more cost effective for them to engage that way.
Today, across multiple studies, we have been able to prove that not all reach is equal and that news brands have a unique role to add to campaigns, and equally importantly, that not all digital is equal, and that the quality environment that news brands are part of deliver on several different metrics above that broader open exchange run of the internet.